Even more multiplying, even more dividing, but now we got mixed numbers and decimals. So if you don't know your times tables, then it might be a little harder. What? Okay, so we're going to try no calculator again. What? Okay. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is get rid of our mixed numbers. So some of you like mixed numbers, but we want to go from mixed number to improper fraction, right? So mixed number to improper fraction. We went over this in the past, but I'm going to just review the steps here. So pretty much you take, so 1, you multiply whole number by denominator. 2, you add step 1 to numerator. And then 3, my handwriting's so bad. 3, put step 2 over denominator. So that seems like a lot, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to do it. And some of you are pretty good at going improper to mixed. So now we're just going mixed to improper. Okay, so let's do an example. Let's look at 2 1/4. Okay, so the first step, we multiply the whole number by the denominator. So the first step is we do 2 times 4, which equals 8. The second step, we add step 1 to the numerator. So this numerator is the right here on the fraction. So we do 8 plus 1 equals 9. And then step 3, we take step 2 and we put it over the denominator. So the denominator is 4, right? So this is 9 over 4. So 2 1/4 transforms into 9 over 4. So this is a review of going from a mixed number to an improper fraction, and it's going to help us a lot in this fun packet, right? So fun. All right, if you don't have that, then you can look back at the video or you can copy a friend, because this camera isn't big enough to show the whole screen. Okay, so we have our mixed number. When we're multiplying mixed numbers, we just want to turn them into improper fractions. So first we're going to turn this guy into improper fraction. So we have 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 over 3. So that becomes 11 over 3 times 4 over 5. And then we're back to where we were with 3.2, right? So 11 times 4 is 44. 3 times 5 is 15. And we're back to, our familiar multiplying fractions. All goes back to that. Okay, we have another mixed number. We actually did it in our example, right? 2 1/4 we found out was 9 over 4. And then this one we need to transform as well. So 5 times 1 plus 2. So we get 9 over 4 times 5 plus 7 over 5. So 9 times 7, there's that trick, right, where you can use your fingers. I like to do 7 minus 1, which is 6, and then the other number that adds up to 9 is 3. So 7 times 9 is 63. Hopefully you remember that trick. And 5 times 4 is 20. Whoops, 20. I wrote 24. So 63 over 20. And then even though we have negatives, it's okay. So we're going to turn this one into an improper fraction. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19 over 4. And then this turns into negative 2 over 1. Remember, we put it over 1 when it's a whole number. And then we just multiply across. So 19 times negative 2 is negative 38. Make sure you don't forget those negatives. And then 4 over 1 is 4. And then we can simplify this. This is divided by 2, becomes negative 19 over 2. So for some of these, this is a bit trickier to simplify. But you want to get in the habit of it, trying without a calculator. Okay, so that is mixed numbers multiplied by mixed numbers or full numbers. And now we have decimals. So this is when you're going to have to try to remember when you learned to multiply back in the day. So we have 6.2 times 8. The way that I do this is I set it up with our vertical multiplication. And so you multiply the 8 times the 2, we get 16. We carry the 1. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 1 is 49. And then we have 1 decimal point here, so we put 1 decimal point there. So 49.6. So hopefully you remember how to vertically multiply. If not, we'll review it. And then if you need to, by the third attempt, you can use a calculator. Okay, 4.2 times 3.5. These are bigger numbers, so 5 times 2 is 10. We carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. And then we have this 0 placeholder when we go to the next line. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12, and then we add it all together. Actually, did I do this wrong? No, I didn't. So 0, 7, 4, 1, and then we have a decimal point here and a decimal point here, so 2 decimal points. So we go back to, so it's 14.7. So like I said, this is all, just because it's decimals, it's really just your vertical multiplying, and then you just add the decimals at the end. All right, last one. We have 0.75, but we're going to pretend that that's like 75, and then we have -2. So we're going to do the negative at the end. We don't care about it right now. So 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. We have 2 decimal points, so, and then we have the negative. So it ends up being -1.5. So if you have another way of multiplying numbers, you can do that, but this is probably the most common way, this vertical multiplication, and then you like add the stuff at the bottom. All right, now dividing numbers, again, super similar. We just have to do our flipping trick, and then we're golden. Okay, so first step is we're going to turn this into an improper fraction. So we have 2 times 4 plus 3 over 4. So that turns into 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 over 4. So we have 11 over 4 divided by 7 over 5. We're going to do the flippy trick. So we have 11 over 4 times 5 over 7. Running out of room here. So that becomes 55 over 28. So sometimes you could skip some of these steps. Some people don't have to write it out. They can just turn it from mixed to improper right away. Some people don't need to write out the dividing. They can go straight to the flippy. So if you can find shortcuts, take them. But if you are having trouble or you're making lots of mistakes, you want to write it out step by step. Okay, so for this one, we have 4 over 5 divided by, and then we turn this into an improper fraction. 3 times 2 plus 1 over 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 2. So now we've turned these both into improper. Then we're going to do our flippy trick. And now we can multiply across. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, last one of dividing mixed numbers. We have 2 negatives. We're not going to let that freak us out. This one we're going to turn into -3 over 1. And then this one we're going to turn into a mix. So 5 times 2 plus 4 over 5. So 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14. So divided by -14 over 5. So we've turned them both into fractions. And now we do our favorite, our flipping. -3 over 1 times 5 over -14. -3 times 5 is -15. 1 times -14 is -14. And then to simplify this, a negative over a negative becomes a positive. So we have 15 over 14. So that's it for dividing mixed numbers. And then we have dividing decimals. So for this one, I like to do long division. So hopefully you remember long division as well. Okay, so We have 3.6 divided by 2. So remember, when we're doing long division, we just pop up our decimal up top. So we want this number right here to be a whole number. So this is a whole number, so we're good. So we have the decimal up top. Okay, so 2 goes into 3 one time. So 2 times 1 is 2. We subtract it. We get 1, and then we have the 6. 2 goes into 16 8 times. So we have 1.8 is our final answer, right? We have remainder 0. And if you ever want to check, you can check again, stacking, right? So 1.8 times 2, you can remultiply, and we can see that we got 3.6. So hopefully you remember how to do long division. If not, come ask me, we'll review it. Okay, 6 divided by 0.5. So this is when it gets tricky. When I have a decimal outside of this fraction, I'm going to move the decimal over for both of them. So I'm going to rewrite this as 60 divided by 5 because it's easier. So 60 divided by 5, some of you could do that in your head. Otherwise, we have a 1 here, we bring the 5, we get 10, and then we have 2. So it's just 12. And then one more with our fun long division. 4.8 divided by negative 0.3. We don't want a decimal on this left side of the dividing, so we're going to move them both over 1. So we're going to rewrite it. Negative 3. So 48 divided by negative 3. And we'll deal with the negative at the end because we know the answer is negative. So we have 1, 3. That goes into 4. We get remainder of 1 and 8, and then that's 6. So 16, and then we have the negative. We forgot about the negative, so it's negative 16 is our answer. So if you don't remember long division, this is going to be the trickiest part, but hopefully the fractions part is really similar to 3.2. So this one's a harder one, but I believe in you guys.